Children, so we have completed the lesson Birth of the United Nations, lesson 17. So now it's our exercise time. Let us do the exercise. Okay, yes, the first one is exercise A. Answer the following questions. Yes, here the first question. Come on, read the first question. Which is the first question here? How was the United Nations formed? Yes, how United Nations formed actually? Yes, it formed after the Second World War. Second World War ended in 1945. United Nations formed on 24th October 1945 with the objective to promote peace and security in the world. To maintain peace and security in the world, isn't it? Protect the nations. Yes. So the answer is the United Nations was formed after the Second World War. Full stop. It was formed to promote peace and security in the world and to protect the nations. Yes, so it was formed after the Second World War and it was formed to promote peace and security in the world and to protect the nations. Now coming to the second question. Which is the second question here? Yes, what are the objectives of the United Nations? So, what are the objectives of the United Nations? Yes, it was formed with some objectives. Which are those objectives? Yes, to promote peace and security, then to maintain friendly relations. It worked for peace and security, and also to develop the friendly relations among the different countries. Then also it worked for the human freedom and rights. Then also for the development of all the countries, just like increase in the food production, medical facilities, education facilities, etc. That is called development of nations. Yes, so answer: the main objectives of the United Nations are to promote the following. First one, A, peace and security in the world. Second, B, friendly relations among members of various countries. C, human freedom and rights. Last one, development of the nations. Yes, so the first question was, how was the United Nations formed? The United Nations was formed after the Second World War. It was formed to promote peace and security in the world and to protect the nations. Second, what are the objectives of the United Nations? The main objectives of the United Nations are to promote the following. A, peace and security, P-E-A-C-E, peace, S-C-C-U-R-I-T-Y, peace and security in the world. B, friendly relations among members of various countries. C, human freedom and rights, and last, development of the nations. Okay. Children, our next question is question number 3. Write a short note on Universal Declaration of Human Rights. You have to write a short note on Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Okay. So, human rights, you know, it's simply human, isn't it? Because we are humans, we have human rights. So, there are total 30 human rights and all. Somebody all over, we can say that human rights are, you know, it's a freedom for humans to live, right to life, we say, to live. Like right to life or live in freedom and safety. Doesn't matter where you are and where do you live or who you are. Everyone have the freedom to enjoy the human rights. No one have the right to torture us, hurt us, to treat us as a slave, and we should not treat anyone as slave also. Everyone should enjoy the human rights or have freedom to enjoy the human rights. Yes, so that is actually the human rights. Okay, so you have to write about that. Yes, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was implemented. Why it is implemented? Why it is being formed? Due to the happenings of World War II. Yes, because of World War II, Second World War, 1939 started and ended in 1945, isn't it? Because of the Second World War, they implemented Declaration of Human Rights for all. It represents the voice of people across the globe. Voice of people across the globe means all over the world. Globe, full earth, all over the world, across the globe, and highlights the rights which all humans are entitled to get. It highlights mainly, it focus on right, where all the human beings are entitled to get, means they should get that completely, they should get, they are all independent. Okay, yes, they should all enjoy this human rights wherever they are, who they are, doesn't matter, all should have this human rights, freedom to life, right to live in safety. Okay, yes, so that is actually human rights we say. And UNO, we already learned, one of its main objective is to, yes, to develop human freedom and human rights. Yes. Next, fourth question, name the permanent members of UNO. Which are the permanent member nations of UNO? The permanent members of the UNO are USA, United States of America, USA, England, China, Russia and France. These are the permanent members of UNO. Okay, so the third question, write a short note on Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights was implemented due to the happenings of World War II. It represents the voice of people across the globe and highlights the rights which all humans are entitled to get. Then the next one, fourth question, name the permanent members of UNO. The permanent members of the UNO are USA, England, China, Russia and France. Children, coming to the last question, the fifth question, where does UNO has its headquarters? Yes, what is the headquarters of UNO is located? Yes, it is in New York. Yes, so the headquarters of UNO is located at New York, NEWYORK. Yes, so where does UNO has its headquarters? UNO, the headquarters of UNO is located at New York. Yes. Children, so our next exercise is exercise B. Fill up the following blanks using the clue kit. Yes, there is a clue kit given here. Which are the words in the clue kit? Let us see. SITS, 1945, Secretary General, United Nations Organization. Okay, using these words you have to fill up the blanks. Okay, the first question is UNO stands for dash. UNO means, yes, the full form of UNO, it is United Nations Organization, isn't it? Yes. So we can write here United Nations Organization, that is UNO. UNO stands for United Nations Organization. Then second, the secretariat is headed by a dash. For secretariat there is a head, he is called as, yes, Secretary General. So the secretariat is headed by a Secretary General. Secretary General. Now coming to the third question, the United Nations was founded in dash. In which year United Nations Organization founded? Yes, in 1945. Yes, very good. 1945. In the year 1945. Then fourth, the last one, the UNO has dash organs. UNO has how many organs? UNO has, yes, 6 organs. Yes. So the first question is UNO stands for dash. UNO stands for United Nations Organization. UNITED NATIONS ORGANISATION. United Nations Organization. Second, the secretariat is headed by a Secretary General, yes, Secretary General, SCRETARYGENERAL, Secretary General. Third one, the United Nations was founded in which year? Yes, 1945. Then last question, the UNO has dash organs. UNO has, yes, 6 organs. Okay. Yes, children, so our next exercise is exercise C. Write yes or no for the following statements. So given are few statements. 1, 2, 3, 4 statements are given. Okay, 4 statements are given here. You have to read the statements first and check whether the statement is right or wrong. If the statement is correct, then you can write S in the brackets given here. If the statement is wrong, just write no in the brackets. Okay. So the first one, UNO existence on October 24, 1945. Yes. When UNO was formed, the birth of UNO, it was on 24th October 1945. Yes. So the given statement is correct. So yes, you can write S in the brackets. So yes, YES. Now coming to the second one, the Secretary General is elected by the General Assembly. So the Secretariat is headed by a Secretary General. For Secretariat, Secretariat is the important organ of UNO. The day-to-day work is carried out by Secretariat. It has a Secretary General. And who is electing the Secretary General? Yes, he is elected by the General Assembly. So the statement is right, correct statement. So you can write S here in the brackets. Now coming to the third one, Security Council is the most important organ of UNO. Security Council, it is one of the most important organ of UNO. Among the 6 organs, Security Council is one of the important organs of UNO. So the given statement is correct. Again you can write S in the brackets. Yes. Now coming to the last one, the UNO has 6 permanent members. Is the statement correct? How many permanent members are there for UNO, children? Yes, UNO has 5 permanent members. USA, England, China, France, Russia, isn't it? 5 permanent members, not 6. So the given statement is wrong. It is not correct. So you can write no. Yes, no. And no. Yes, so the first one, UNO existence on October 24, 1945 is a correct statement. So yes. Second, the Secretary General is elected by the General Assembly. The given statement is right. So yes. Third, Security Council is the most important organ of UNO. It is a correct statement. So yes. The last one is the UNO has 6 permanent members. It is a wrong statement. So no. Okay. Yes, children. So coming to the next exercise, exercise D. Expand the following. You have to expand these given things. Okay. Yes, these are the specialized agencies of UNO, isn't it? Which are the specialized agencies of UNO? Yes, UNESCO, UNICEF, WHO, then FAO. These are all the specialized agencies of UNO to carry out the specific work, specific task, isn't it? Yes. So the first one is UNESCO. What is its full form? United. U for United, N for Nations, then E for Educational, 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 Scientific, and then C for Cultural, then last O, Organization. Yes, so the UNESCO means United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. WHO stands for, yes, World Health Organization. WHO stands for World Health Organization. Then third, UNICEF. UNICEF stands for, yes, United, then N, Nations, then I, International, United Nations International, then C stands for Children's, E, Emergency Fund, F-U-N-D, fund, okay, yes. Then last one, FAO. FAO stands for, F for food, and A for agriculture, food and agriculture, O, organization, food and agriculture organization, yes. So the first one, UNESCO. UNESCO stands for United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Second is WHO. WHO stands for World Health Organization. Third, UNICEF. UNICEF stands for United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. Then fourth, FAO. FAO stands for Food and Agriculture Organization. Okay. Children, next exercise is exercise E. Can you name the picture? Yes. Here they have given two images. So look at the first image. What can you see here? Which image is this, or which picture this represent? Yes, it represents UNO headquarters. It is at New York, isn't it? Yes. So the first picture represents UNO headquarters. UNO headquarters. UNO headquarters is at New York. Yes. UNO HEADQUARTERS. UNO headquarters. Now coming to the next image. Yes, children, which image is this? What does this image represents? Yes, it is the image of, or the picture of, the Secretariat. Yes, the Secretariat, which is one of the important organ of UNO. UNO's day-to-day work is carried out by the Secretariat. It is a part of the headquarters, which is at New York, isn't it? Yes. So the first image represents the UNO headquarters and the second image represents the Secretariat. Okay. Yes, children, next is project work. Let us see what are the projects that are given in the textbook. The first one is collect information on the various activities of UNICEF and paste in your notebook. You have to collect the activities, various activities, different activities of the UNICEF. What is UNICEF, children? It's United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. It works for what? Yes, it works for the poor children all over the world. They provide fund to the poor children in the world, and also it works for the all-round development and growth of children. Actually, it works for all-round development and growth of children, to providing them good education, providing them food, clothing. If any emergency situation comes, then providing them relief or funds, like giving fund to them, to especially the poor children. Yes, so these are the main activities of UNICEF, providing emergency relief in response to some other dangerous diseases happen to them, to give medical facilities, to improve the hygienic conditions of the children living in slum areas, thickly populated areas where there is no proper toilet facilities also, to improve the sanitation. So it altogether works for the development of the children, the growth, all round growth and development of children, and also it provides funds to the poor children in the world. So you have to collect information about the UNICEF, the activities they are doing, and you have to paste in your notebook or scrapbook. Okay, so these are the main activities they are doing. Next is write on a cardboard the various human rights declared by the United Nations. So about human rights. Next is about human rights declared by United Nations. What are the main human rights? Different human rights declared by UNO that you have to write on a cardboard. Human rights, already we learned about human rights. UNO works for the human rights and freedom. Yes, all the human beings here, they have the freedom of or right of freedom to live happily, live safely. They should have freedom to live, isn't it? Yes, all, irrespective, no separation on the basis of caste, color or gender or place of birth, wherever they are, where do they live or who they are, it doesn't matter. They all should enjoy human rights, isn't it? Yes, so right to life, right to choose their own profession, right to freedom, right to equality, all are treated equally before law. These are the various human rights declared by the United Nations. Equal right to all, no slavery, no one should treat as slave here. No one has right to make anyone as slave. No one has the right to torture anyone, to hurt anyone. Everyone have equal rights. Okay, then no discrimination, no separation on the basis of religion, caste, color, place of birth, skin, etc. The religion, etc. Everyone are equal before law. So these are the main human rights declared by the United Nations. Right to life, no slavery, no discrimination, equal rights before law. Yes, these are the human rights. So you have to write it on a cardboard about this various human rights. Next is, what do you know about the logo given below? Write about it. Children, before starting the lesson, there is a warm-up exercise, time to warm up, and there also they have asked you, can you identify this logo? Page number 131 in your textbook, one logo has given. So the same logo they have given here also. Okay, you have to identify this logo. So what do you know about this logo? It is actually, UNODC. This logo represents UNODC. Means what? United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. It's United Nations Office on D for drugs and crime, C for crime. So UNODC represents United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. UNODC, that symbol represents that in the warm-up exercise and here also in the project work. That symbol indicates UNODC, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. So what does this indicate, or what is this for? Actually, to prevent illicit trafficking, we say, illegal trading, illegal selling of goods, dealing of goods, illegal selling, trading, dealing of some specified goods. To prevent this, they have formed this organization. Okay, yes, and actually also for overuse or excessive use of drugs, abuse of drugs and crime prevention. For all these, they have this United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. It was established in the year 1997. its headquarters is at Kenya, and mainly it is they wanted to prevent the overuse, excessive use of drugs, and they have to prevent crimes, to reduce crimes. They have formed this office, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, also to prevent the illegal dealing of goods, illegal selling, trading, dealing of goods and all. So this, they have to control that, and they have to control the overuse, excessive use of drugs, and also they have to prevent, they have to reduce the crime. So for this purpose they formed this, they established this UNODC in 1997. Its headquarters is at Kenya. Okay, that's about UNODC. Yes children, so in the project work, the first one was you have to write the various activities of UNICEF, what UNICEF is doing, that its activities, different activities you have to write. Its overall work is just all round development and growth of children. It provides funds for the children. So you can write, it provides funds for the children, then it provides good education to the children all over the world, it provides good food to the children, then good education, good food, clothing, and also gives fund to the poor people. These are the main activities of UNICEF. Then next you have to write the activities of or the various human rights declared by the United Nations, which are the different human rights. Yes, right to life, then right to life, no slavery, no discrimination, no separation on the basis of color, caste and all. Then right to equality before law. So these are the main rights. Right to live, no discrimination, no slavery, right to equality before law. These are the various human rights declared by the United Nations. Next is that symbol. That symbol you can see here, the symbol. That symbol represents United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. Mainly this organization, or this is for to reduce the crimes, to prevent the illegal trading, selling of goods, and to stop the overuse, excessive use of drugs that can lead to many crimes. Because of overuse of drugs, what is happening? It makes the life very difficult, to live difficult, isn't it? The person who is using more drugs becoming abnormal, mentally he is not fit actually to do anything, so he is doing some crimes. So to prevent that, to stop using the overuse of drugs, and by reducing the crime, and also to reduce the illegal, to prevent the illegal trading of and selling of goods. For that purpose they have formed this office, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. Yes, it is established in the year 1997 and its headquarters is in Kenya. Okay. Yes children, next is life skills. United Nations Peacekeeping is a unique and dynamic instrument developed by the organization as a way to help countries torn by conflict and creates the conditions for lasting peace. United Nations peacekeeping, they actually formed to work for the peace and security of the world, isn't it? So peacekeeping is a unique, means the only one, and the dynamic means the most powerful instrument developed by the organization. Yes, as a way to help countries, as a way they are helping the countries to settle down the problems, especially the conflict, the dispute, the argument, we say argument, and creates a condition for lasting peace. Yes, they are trying to solve or settle the problems of different countries, the argument between the countries, and they are working for long lasting peace among the world, among the different nations. The first UN peacekeeping mission was established in 1948. In that year, they started the work. The mission was established in 1948 when the Security Council authorized. Okay, Security Council is one of the most important organ of UNO, the most powerful and effective organ. It has 15 members, right? 5 permanent members. So they authorized, they have been given a charge to what? The deployment of UN military observers. Okay, UN some military observers, they have given some, assigned some duties to them, to what? To the Middle East, to monitor the armistice agreement between Israel and its Arab neighbors. Monitor means to observe the armistice, means the agreement means a temporary stopping of war, stopping of the open acts of warfare, particularly to stop fighting. For that they have this mission. The first mission was to stop the fighting, the warfare between Israel and its Arab neighbors. So UN military observers was assigned the duty to stop the fighting between Israel and its Arab neighbors. So it was the first mission of Security Council of UNO. They have given a duty to observe the armistice agreement between Israel and its Arab neighbors. So UNO, it's a powerful, it's energetic or dynamic, we say it's a unique instrument developed by the organization for actually to maintain peace, long lasting peace, instead of argument or conflict between the countries. They are trying to settle down all the problems by giving a long lasting peace to the all over the nations, all over the world, among different nations, we say. The first mission is, it was in 1948, Security Council authorized, they have been given that charge to assign, they have given the duty to assign the duty, deployment is assigning the duty. What duty they have given? Yes, military observers of UN to the Middle East. They send them to the Middle East to monitor, to observe the armistice agreement, means the temporary stopping warfare or the fighting, to stop the fighting between Arab neighbors and Israel. Yes, so we should be so thankful to the United Nations organization, because they are working for the whole world to settle down all the arguments, the conflicts between among different nations, and thereby maintaining peace and security of the world. They always work for peace and security, and many agencies and organs of UNO are working for the poor people around the world, to remove poverty, to remove hunger, to give them good education, good food and all. Isn't it? Yes. So in our country, India is also a member of UNO. Isn't? Yes. So we have completed the lesson and also the exercise part. Now you can go through the exercise well after reading the lesson, and learn the exercise well, children, because you have exams, assignments for every lesson. So better read the lesson and then learn the exercise part. Okay.